Thank you so much, Steve, for the welcome. Okay, so hey all, good evening, and thank you for taking time off your busy schedule and coming here to be a part of this program. So thank you for being there in the first place. So for most of you who know me and few of you who do not know me, I'm Kalki Vardarajan. Okay, a girl who's just trying to figure out how life is going to be. So I'm not here to tell you that I own this tag, I'm this, I'm that. I'm just here to tell you that I'm a person who's trying to figure out life. So it'll be nice if you can give me your inputs to make my life worthwhile. So that's about me. So Isti, can you go on with the slide? Okay, so before we move on, I would like to just these are just some basic ground rules so that we have a very convenient experience throughout this program. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to disable my video, okay, so that we concentrate on the content and not on the presenter. Okay, and also it will be nice that if we can unmute ourselves. And you can, as Pratyay said, thank you Pratyay for that piece of advice. It'll be nice that if you can keep your chat boxes on, and in case if there's any questions or anything that you would like to share, you can use the chat box for that option. Okay, so we begin. So not all classrooms have 4 walls. I mean, I was just sitting thinking, how could I name this topic? And I don't know, randomly this came to my mind, maybe something that I read somewhere or whatever it could be. But not all classrooms have 4 walls. So I would like to first hear from all of you. What was the first thing? I would like to hear from all of you, either through chat or you can unmute yourself and tell me, because it could be a semi-interactive session, because it cannot be one person presenting the whole thing. So it will be nice if it's a semi-interactive session. So it will be nice if you can unmute yourselves and tell me what was the first thing that struck your mind the minute you saw the topic. I mean, not all classrooms have 4 walls.
Alternative education system.
Can you please tell me your name and just tell me what was the first thing that struck your mind? It would be nice, please. Can I hear it from all of you, please?
Yeah, so I'll go. Hello everyone, this is Pratyay. So what struck me was like I will be essential. Hello, am I audible?
Pratyay, there's some issue in the connectivity. Can you be a little clear, please? Yeah, tell me, please.
Yeah. So what I actually thought it was like something. It would be something related to experiential learning, learning from nature, something like that. Yeah.
Oh, that's a very beautiful perspective from you, and thank you so much for sharing. Yes, can we hear it from the other people, please?
Kindness learning.
Kindness learning. Okay, thank you, Tushar.
Hi, I'm Manjusha, and
I'll go on.
hi, I'm Manjusha. My concept of classrooms have not all classrooms have 4 walls, which means a teacher and student-friendly classrooms, which breaking all conventional rules of so-called classrooms.
Okay, that's again a very new perspective to whatever the topic says. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. Hi, Akshaya here. What I thought about the topic was like learning doesn't happen just inside the classroom or inside the 4 walls. It just happens outside also.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Rajesh here.
Rajesh.
One thing like striking in my mind about this topic is like whenever I used to travel, the railway station and the people and who all I spoke with them and their experience, their life, those things is come to my mind first.
Oh,
thank you.
That's a beautiful way of putting it. Thank you, Rajesh. Yes, can we hear it from the other people too? Hello. Hello. Yes, tell me.
Are you able to hear me, ma'am?
Can you be a little clear, please? You're not that audible.
Yeah. Can you able to hear me, ma'am? Now?
Yes, yes, please tell me.
So I think for me,
Uh,
at the present,
I don't know your name. I'm really sorry. It could be nice if you're a little clear. I think there's some
yeah,
problem with the connectivity. Can you be a little clear, please?
yeah, I am Shantanu Bhome, and
Yes, Shantanu, tell me.
for me, this lockdown actually, the whole, I mean, the whole system of lockdown, not only the system, the every moment is a learning for me because even though
Okay.
it's not a class, everybody, because I personally, I am staying alone and I feel how to, I mean, how to save, like, I don't know, I mean, how, it's all learning. It may be cooking, it may be style of reading, it may be surviving in a different skill. We always used to blame my
Mm-hmm.
parent, my mom that you're not cooking well, you're not doing this, that. But I think
Mm-hmm.
this is a great learning of like it's a whole everywhere is a classroom. Everywhere is a classroom.
Okay,
That's
that is such a nice way of putting it. I mean, you say whatever you've been through the, I mean, during this lockdown, every day there's been a learning. So it need not be a classroom. Everyday experiences teaches you lessons, is what you mean. So thank you so much, Shantanu. Yes, is there anybody else who would like to share?
So this is Kalki Sugantan. This is.
Okay, yes, Sudan, tell me.
So first thing I came in my mind is like not all the classrooms have four walls. What it meant to me is
Uh-huh.
like no, there are something to explore outside of four walls. Four walls.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you, Sugan.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, anyone else? Maybe we can give in for one or two more responses, please.
Hello.
Yeah, hello, Kalki.
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, can I
Hello?
speak now?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I'm Ilay Kumar. Hello.
Yes, Ilya, tell me.
Yeah, so when I seen this title itself, then I recognized that the West Bengal, which is having a very good university, Vishwa Bharati. So in that earlier times, how Tagore used to teach that that I was thinking, like
Oh,
how it goes on. So that the origin of Shanti Niketan, I was thinking.
okay. That was really thought-provoking. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ilya. That is something way beyond what people said. Yeah, that is a very beautiful perspective. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes. Anyone else? Okay. So I think we've had enough responses. Anybody else who would like to share? Maybe one last person who would like to share, and then we can move on. Anybody else?
Hi, this is Sham.
Oh, yeah, Sham, tell me.
It could be a situational based learning, like for suppose. I have seen recently like Gram Sevak learning, like what say, children learning about their village and working on like asking their village president questions or something like that. It could be a situation based learning, I feel.
Okay. I mean, that's a very, a different way of putting whatever, I mean, your experiences, I mean, what you've seen and how you've tried to relate that to the topic. That was really nice. Thank you, Sham.
Hello,
So
Kalki.
I think now we can, yes.
This is Ankur Siote.
Yes, Ankur.
Not all classrooms have four walls. I thought this is a sort of kinesthetic learner, those who learn things by doing practical things.
You may, okay. Okay, an experiential learning is what you mean.
Yeah, experiential.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you, all of you, for all your responses. And to be very precise, each of you had very beautiful answers to give me. And let me tell you, all your answers were right. And I have just put all of them together and just termed it life lessons. I mean, we've all connected it to the life experiences we've had. And you've given your responses. And if I would have to put it into a nutshell and tell you what I'm going to talk about, we call it life lessons. Yes? Okay, so the topic for today is life lessons. I've always had this thought that, I have not been very happy about the way the educational system in our country functions, because somewhere I feel we've been robbed of our, our enthusiasm or our interest to ask questions, or to, question why things are this way, or why certain things need not be that way. I mean, we are very stereotypical in certain things. We're very rigid in certain ways. We're very narrow in certain ways. I mean, maybe I'm being very critical about the education system I've been through, but somewhere I think this is where we stand. So, and every time we look at learning, every time we hear the word learning, we only associate it to classroom learning. We only associate it to grades. We only associate it to marks. We only associate it to degrees that we earn. But it is never associated to what you need to learn to become a holistic person, what you need to learn to be, a person who's independent, a person with humanity, a person with values, a person with culture. We never associate learning to any of these. Learning has only been something which is, always slighted towards education, but never about life lessons. So I thought, why not we talk about life lessons? And that's where I came up with this topic. And me having known that all of you have received it so beautifully, I'm really very excited to take forward the session. So thank you all of you for your responses. And now we move ahead. Okay, so the first part of this session would be you guys sharing what your experiences are. So the first thing would be share a recent learning experiences of, a recent experience of yours. It could be any learning. As I said, it could be any learning. I just want you guys to make a note of it. You need not share it now. You can write it and keep it aside. Maybe somewhere in between the session, we'll take a pause, we'll take a break, and then we can discuss what that is. So I'll give you 2 minutes. It will be nice if all of you can make a note, maybe in your phone or your notebook or wherever, or at least give it a thought. Share a recent learning of yours. I'm making note of mine too. So yes. So we'll definitely take 10 minutes in between to share all our experiences. It could be anything. It could be a funny learning. It could be a serious learning. It could be a lesson for life. It could be a lesson, something that you really learned, something academic. It could be anything, but just be open. Don't restrict it to something that you learned on the internet about something or about something. It could be anything. So just take 2 minutes and give it a thought. Okay, yes, now that we have it from most of you, okay, we move forward. Esther, can we have the next slide, please? Okay, in the meanwhile, let me tell you something. Our brain is a very complex system. I think the most complex thing in the world is the human brain. So I'm sure most of you know it. If you don't, let me tell you this. Okay, it's a very tricky fellow. He's a very tricky fellow, and he's very complex. Okay, he's so tricky that he can make you believe anything. Anything is anything. Yes. He can make you feel that you are sleeping. He can make you feel you're awake. Maybe whatever I say sounds very lame or sounds very ridiculous, but this is how it is. He can make you feel what you feel. If you don't feel pain, if you don't want to feel pain, he can ensure that you don't feel pain. If you want to experience happiness, he can ensure you can feel happiness. If you want to cry, he can actually help you cry. I'm not kidding. This is actual truth. Okay? So this guy is really tricky. And maybe he can even trick you to tell you at the end of the session that the session was good. I don't know. Okay, so he's that tricky. Okay, I'm not trying to play a trick on you. I'm just telling you that guy is tricky, and I'm not trying to play any tricks here. But okay, let's move forward. So yes, we fell asleep in one world and woke up in another. Yes, you heard it right. We fell asleep in one world and woke up in another. For those of you who read this poem, good. For those who haven't, let me read it to you. We all fell asleep in one world and woke up in another. Okay, I think few days back, let's trace back to, let's say 53 odd days before, did we fall asleep with a thought that next day when you wake up, things are going to be so uncertain. Things are going to be so different. Things are not going to be the way you want. You're never going to step out of the house. You can't eat what you want. You can't meet the person you want. You can't even move from the place where you are. You can't meet your friends, you can't meet your relatives, you can't meet your parents, nobody. I mean, no, it's very difficult to even walk the dog on the road. Did you even think of something like this? I don't think, I mean, I never thought so. So, I mean, that's how we start. So we fell asleep in one world and woke up in another. Next slide. So there is this beautiful poem, and also it's a message which was, portrayed in one of the movies. Okay, so this is what it says. Suddenly, Disney is out of magic. Paris is no longer romantic. New York doesn't stand up anymore. The Chinese wall is no longer a fortress, and Mecca is empty. Hugs and kisses suddenly became weapons, and not visiting parents and friends became an act of love. Suddenly, you realize power, beauty, and money are worthless and can't get you the oxygen you're fighting for. The world continues its life, and it's beautiful. It has only put humans in cages. I think it's sending us a message. I'm sure each and every person who's a part of this program would be able to relate every word of whatever is meant here. So, I mean, my very purpose of having added this to the life lesson aspect of what we're trying to talk here is life is completely uncertain. I mean, the first lesson from life that we ought to learn is life is completely uncertain. I mean, you don't know what it holds. I'm sure every day is thrilling. So you just have to fight life with the thing of, okay, let's see what comes. I'm sure you need to have your, skills to fight it, but you can't be over ready. You cannot be too ready for anything. You need to just experience it the way it is. And you just have to explore life. The first thing being life is uncertain, and you have to experience life the way it is, because we are not as powerful as nature is. So I think it's sending us a message is what we need to know what the message is. So can we move on to the next slide to know what the message that nature has sent to us? Yes, so nature tells us that you are not necessary. The air, earth, water, and sky without you are fine. When you come back, remember you are my guests, not my masters. Don't you think this is a very, very serious message to us? I mean, they say they are fine. They don't have, they're not dependent on us. We are dependent on them. The air, the earth, water, and sky, they're all doing ultimately good. I mean, they're doing good than ever before without any of our interference. So nature tells us that when you come back, remember that you are my guests and not my masters. So I think it's high time we realize that we are not masters and we are slaves here. We are people who've come here as guests, people who've given little privilege to enjoy life. We come here for a short period, enjoy life, and go back. We do not own anything here. Everything that we own here, everything that we experience here is very, very temporary. So let's not fight for anything which is so temporary. I mean, I'm sure we wouldn't fight for something which is temporary. But the fact that we fight for every little thing in life is because we think that is permanent. There is no permanent in life. There is no absolute in life. Everything is relative. Everything is short-lived. And so is your life. So with this little span of life that you have, why don't you enjoy it to the fullest than, harming people, harming animals, or harming other lives, or, harming yourself basically. I mean, you're here to live, you're here to enjoy. Why don't we enjoy life and live the short span the best way we can? So that gives us the second message, that we are here to enjoy, okay? We are here to mutually enjoy without harming anybody. So nature, if you take care of nature, nature will love you back. If you don't take care of nature, it is very powerful that once in a while it comes back and gives us a lesson that you are not my master, I am yours. Okay, so that leaves us with the second life lesson. And now we move on to the third. Okay, so this was a very, I don't know if you found it very philosophical or something that you've heard that you hear on a day-to-day basis nowadays. But I wanted to start with that because everybody's life is so uncertain. I mean, the present scenario is so uncertain that we don't know what we hold tomorrow, what tomorrow holds, or what yesterday was. We have no idea about what things are. So I just wanted to start with something that we are experiencing. From now on, whatever is the life lesson that I am sharing with you are things that I learned the hard way, maybe, or things that I've seen people experience, or things that I just got it easily. anything. But all of this has been a lesson to me, and each of this plays a very important role in deciding or making the person who I am. So I'm sure each of you have your own experiences, and you penning down your own experiences will tell you give you a better idea of how you view life and how these lessons in life will help you become a better person. I'm sure grades, degrees, jobs, security, all of this will only give you a certain level of security in life. Like as I told you, life is very uncertain. No security in the world can protect you from all odds. Only having lessons, only having known that, okay, this is how I handle this. It's okay. I need not cry over this so many times. It's okay. It's a lesson learned. So why would I sit and cry over the same thing again? I mean, there are certain lessons that you need to know on a day-to-day basis that you learn from things around you that will make you a strong person. So I would say these lessons have made me strong. So I just wanted to share it with you. I'm sure at the end of the session, I want you guys to share your experiences so that this becomes a holistic learning. This becomes a learning with sharing. Okay. So the first lesson would be changing your perspective towards something will definitely change how you feel about it. Yes. I'll read it again. Changing your perspective towards something will definitely change how you feel about it. So I think the sentence itself suggests what it means. I mean, sometimes we brood over certain things too much that, we're never able to look at the brighter side. Okay. I'm not here to advocate that please look at the brighter side of everything. Please, how do I put it? Please think positively. I mean, if you know how to think positively, you will very well think positively. Why would you even sit and brood? It's not about, thinking positive. That's not the perspective I'm trying to tell you. Perspective is just saying that, okay, things are like that. So what is it that I can do from my end? There are certain things in your control, certain things just beyond your control. And each of you have your own ways of, accepting things, knowing things, and doing things. Let's say we take, let's take an example. Okay. So there is an elephant there. There are 20 odd people in the chat. I mean, in the group now. So 20 people viewing an elephant is completely different. Maybe I find it very, I feel like riding on it. Maybe somebody feels so scary looking at it. There's another person who wants to play with it. There's another person who fears it. Let's say some person is phobic to it. And some person just wants to go on a walk with it. I mean, you never know. Each person's perspective towards something is different. And that's how life is. Okay. So the way you look at things is going to tell you how you feel about it. If there is something that is, unfortunate that happens to you, the way you look at it will ultimately help you understand how you feel it. Okay. If you are going to take things, okay, it's a lesson learned. Okay. I can't go back to change what has happened to me, but I can definitely take a lesson from what has happened. I mean, yes, let's say you go to a restaurant, okay? I'll put it in very simple terms, okay? So you go to a restaurant, you've been craving to go to this restaurant for so long, okay? So finally you end up going to that restaurant and you order the best food that is available that you heard from your friends, you've seen reviews, you've been craving, you've been longing, whatever, okay? So finally you go there, you go sit there, you order and you eat. You don't like, first thing, maybe you're not very comfortable with seating there, let's say, or you're not very comfortable with the ambience there, or you're not very comfortable with the people there, or let's say, finally, the food doesn't taste good. How are you going to feel about this? I'm sure there are some people who are like, oh my God, I made the biggest mistake in my life. No, it was just an experience. Okay, so if you're going to think, oh my God, that was the worst decision I made in life, I'm sure you're going to sit and cry, or you're going to feel bad, or you would never make chances to go to another restaurant like this. You're never going to try something new. Okay, instead, if you take like, okay, I tried it and it was just an experience. Okay, this is what I thought it was. Maybe it is not. So it's just a lesson. I mean, maybe it is a very small lesson, but still, okay, it's something that you've learned, something that you wouldn't end up making a mistake again at. So it's just a perspective. You take it for the better and you will feel good. But if you're going to sit and let's say regret, or you're going to make, you're going to be harsh at yourself or being harmful at yourself, things are not going to turn the way it is. So changing your perspective towards something will definitely change how you feel about it. So take things as lesson. Anything which comes your way, positive or negative, good or bad, whatever, take it as a learning. If it is good, please reinforce it. If it doesn't turn out to be good, avoid it. As simple as that. Okay. So with this, we come to the end of the first lesson. First life lesson, I mean. We go on to the next. Okay, so this is something I very often say, never make the same mistake twice. Okay, I'll tell you why I say this. Never make the same mistake twice, simply because if you go on to make the same mistake again, when on earth would you have the time to make new mistakes? As simple as this. Okay, I think this doesn't need much of an explanation. Yes, you take mistakes as a learning. Okay, any mistake. Okay, you've done it, don't do it next time. I'm sure you've learned something out of it. There's nothing so new to learn about that. It's okay. Don't make the same mistake again. Make new mistakes. There are new areas to explore. Make new mistakes, learn from them. Only then the lessons, I mean, your syllabus of learning lessons is going to be big. If you're going to make the same mistake over and over, at a point you'll get bored of making mistakes and you'll try being perfect, which is all the more painful. So no, make mistakes, enjoy, make new mistakes and learn new lessons. So that's the second lesson. Next. Okay, this is a very interesting part. Listen to people who will tell you what you don't want to listen. Yes, you heard me right. Listen to people who tell you what you don't want to listen. So this is nothing but be open to critics. That's all I would say. You need to be open. You need to be open to feedback. I'm sure I'm going to be open to all of you at the end of this session, asking all your feedbacks. No matter what you would want to say, I am ready to listen, because only if I listen to feedbacks will I get better in me doing something, me doing the same thing the next time. Okay, if I'm going to think, oh my God, somebody made a comment and, I'm sure it's going to make me feel uncomfortable. It's going to make me feel unpleasant. But as I told you, if you connect this lesson to the first lesson I told you, that changing the way you look at something will change the way you feel. So exactly, listen to people who tell you what you don't want to listen. So if you have people around you who give you constructive feedbacks, please be open to them. And every time you get an opportunity to hear a feedback from somebody, please be open. Because the more feedbacks you get, okay, the more, I'm not telling you have to change, but I'm sure you can definitely make any alterations. Yes. So for you to become a master at something, you need to know what you are weak at. Knowing your weakness is what will make you a master. I mean, you're trying to excel at something. So be open to critics. Know from people where you lack, okay, what your strengths are, where you lack, and how that can be bettered.
Excuse me.
Yes.
I'm sorry to interrupting you, guys.
Yes,
I'm so sorry. Actually, our time is going to end like next to 1.5 minutes. The program will end. So don't feel bad. Just go back to a link and click again, and we can continue this. Actually, Zoom meeting, they're providing only just 40 minutes, and we can rejoin and we can start this meeting. Okay, that's all.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. So hoping to meet you guys in another few minutes.
No problem. You can.
Okay, I'll finish with this. Yeah, I'll finish with this. Yeah, there's 1 minute, 15 seconds left. So yeah, so I'm just taking it as a break for me to have water. Okay, this is the perspective I'm taking it with. So I think you guys would take it with the same spirit, that you go back and please rejoin. I'm sure if you find it interesting, please rejoin. I'm not going to force you. It'll be nice. I'll be hoping to see all the 23 of you back for the chat. So listen to people who tell you what you don't want to listen. Is giving space for people to tell you how you can better yourself. So this is a hard learned lesson, but it's something I always do, and I hope and I would suggest you guys do too. Okay, we'll start the next lesson with a new login or whatever. We join again or something like that. Okay, if you have to talk about this very logically, only if your left hand side is equal to your right hand side. I'm sure at least this much of math I remember from what was taught to me. So if your LHS is equal to your RHS, then you put an equal to sign. If you have numbers on one side and you have alphabets on the other side, it cannot be equated. And that's exactly what it is if you are trying to compare yourself to somebody else. Most of the time, we start thinking low about ourselves. We start having low opinions about ourselves, low concepts about ourselves, low esteem about ourselves, only because we think and compare ourselves to other people. Oh my God, I finished college. I'm into job for 2 years. This is how much I earn. But there's a friend of mine who earns so much more. This is how I look, but that person looks much better. Okay, I have only few friends. but that friend has so many, that person has so many friends. I get only to wear such things, but that person gets to wear so many things. I am only so much knowledgeable, but that person is so much more knowledgeable. In all these cases, you're trying to compare or you're trying to equate two non-equals. And if you're ever going to compare two non-equals, your answer is never going to be something which is correct. You're going to end up giving a wrong answer. And that is exactly what you've been doing all your life. You always comparing yourself to somebody else. No, compare yourself to only yourself. If I have to say, okay, I cannot compare Kalki with a person X. If I'm ever going to do that, then I'm going to be a fool doing it. I'm sorry to use the word, but I would say you're a fool if you're going to compare yourself to somebody else. Yes, I can only compare Kalki with Kalki. If I have to say, how was Kalki 1 year back? What was her potential at this? And what has she become today? I compare that, then it makes sense. How good was Kalki at cooking before quarantine or before lockdown? How good is Kalki after quarantine? That makes sense. Okay. How good looking was somebody before something to how good looking is somebody today? It makes sense. But if I'm going to tell that if I'm going to compare myself to somebody else, then that's the worst mistake you're doing to yourself. If you ever think, okay, I'm sure we come across so many incidents in life and you say that, you know what, people harm themselves. Okay, if you ever have this thought of you comparing yourself to another person, you are harming yourself every day. The minute you get out of this self-harm habit is the day you will start looking at world in a beautiful way. I did it for myself and I view life in a beautiful way. I'm sure you get out of this belief of comparing yourself to somebody else is the day you will realize that your life is beautiful too. Yes, so the next lesson. Okay, so no one's life is as perfect as their Instagram feed. Yes, very true. I'm sure all of you must agree to me. Yes, nobody's looks or nobody's life or nobody's experience is so picture perfect. Okay, there is nothing in life which is not flawed. Everything has flaws, and it is only with these flaws that things look beautiful. But we've got into so much of this, this perfection that we haven't seen the beauty to what flaws can have. I believe that I was born to live a real life, not a life which is not going to be perfect. I'm going to live somebody else's life if I want to be perfect. If I want to be real, I will live a life of myself and I would enjoy doing what I would do instead of me trying to live up to somebody else's, let's say, expectation. And for me, I have always believed that the world's most important things are things which are very abstract, things which cannot be things which cannot be measured. Yes, let's say perfection cannot be measured in number. Love cannot be measured in number. Okay, care cannot be measured in number. Attitude cannot be measured in number. All of this can only be seen through action. All of this is very abstract. It can only be felt. It can never be measured. It cannot be quantified. So, but today we are here telling 100 marks for something, 100 marks for the looks, 100 marks for this. No, you're trying to, again, you're trying to equal, not to equals. This is not the way we were made. This is not the way nature actually made us. But why are we trying to fit into that mode, that tint, or let's say that filter? And that's how I need to look. If you're doing it for the sake because you enjoy doing it, that's a different thing. But today it has become, it has become a compulsion. It has become a social, you have to do it to belong to a group. Okay, you do certain things to belong to a certain group, which I feel it is not necessary. So no one's life is as perfect as the Instagram feed, and you do not live up to anybody's perfect life. But okay, I also see a chat from Pratyay which says people only show their perfection or just mean to show it. Okay, so see, certain things, let's say for me, perfection could be different from what perfection is to you. But what I'm saying is you don't have to live up to somebody else's definition of perfection. Let's say for me, making dosa in a round shape. See, everybody makes dosa in a round shape. But what if I like making dosa in a square shape? Nobody can say no to it, right? I like it that way. But if just because everybody makes dosa in a circular or spherical shape, that doesn't mean it has to be made that way. Because ultimately, it is only the taste and the texture that's going to give you the feel of eating a dosa, not the shape. I believe so. But if that person, if so-called person is a person who believes that it has to be made only round, that person is going to die all their life trying to make a round dosa. Wherein dosa is only going to be judged for its taste and texture and not for the size. You're not participating in any, master chef where you need to make things so perfect. No, why are you living up to somebody's perfection? Okay, so I think that's the answer for that. So people only show their perfections, or they just mean to show it. So yeah, sometimes yes, Pratyay.
Yeah, just I was thinking on the same line. Like I shared because I told that they're meant to show their perfection because that's the conditioning we have been
exactly
brought up to.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Maybe some people are very okay. See, I am not here to change or anybody. I'm not here to brainwash anybody to say live life on your own terms. I'm not saying that. If you're comfortable living by the social norms, please continue. Nobody is disturbing you.
Yeah.
But if you want to live by your own rules, there's nobody who can stop you. That's all I'm trying to say. It's completely your life. Until and unless you harm somebody else, your life is yours, man. So just enjoy life.
Right. Right.
Okay, so can we move on to, yes, thank you, Pratyay. Can we move on to the next slide, please? Okay, we have enough for all our needs and not for all our wants. Okay, this again comes from a very philosophical point of view, but something that we see on a day-to-day basis. Okay, so I think somewhere we don't understand the difference between needs and wants, because English is a very funny language. So we use needs in the place of wants and wants in the name of needs. So let me make this very clear. Needs are something which is a necessity. It needs to be given. Okay, it is of prime importance. Needs are things you need for survival. Wants are things which you need for luxury. Let's say I feel very thirsty. Okay, I walked for like 2 kilometers at a stretch on a sunny day. I don't know what to do. So I go to somebody's place. Okay, I just ask them, can you lend me a glass of water? That is need. You need water to survive. But if I'm going to go tell them I need a fresh prepared watermelon juice, okay, with ice in it and cooled in this temperature, that temperature, that is luxury. That is want. So needs are different from wants. I think if we understand the difference between the needs and wants in our life, half our problems are solved. We do not see the difference between wants and needs. We mix both and we make a mess out of our own selves. Because half the time we are fighting for wants in the name of needs. I need this. Okay. I told you, I think in the beginning of the session, I told you your mind is a very, very tricky fellow. He can make you believe certain things. Certain things need not be true at all. But if you believe, he can make you believe that this is true. So if you are going to think that this is a need and you cannot live without this, he can actually play a trick on you by telling, yes, you need it. But whereas in the first place, it can just be a want. It can just be a luxury, which you can just avoid. It need not be there for your survival. But we condition our brains for all the wants. And that's how we become so greedy about certain things. And exactly, that's why I say we have enough for all our needs. If all of us are only going to take things for our needs, we are all going to be happy. We are all going to live a happy life. We are all going to live an equal life. But only because we want our wants to be satisfied, we don't have enough for everybody. That's where we come to Mr. Rajnikant's statement where he says the rich is getting richer and the poor is getting poorer, because there is much. There are nothing for people's needs, but there's so much for people's wants. And that's it. So the next slide. Okay. So this is a very favorite lesson that I learned for myself, that you have a choice in every situation. Because, there are certain phrases that you learn, without choice, I had to do this. And, I was not given a choice at all. Or, you know what, I just couldn't do anything and I had to do it. Sometimes we think that certain things are pressurized on us and we don't have a choice. Sometimes we feel so helpless. Okay, we think we are helpless, but nothing of that sort. Every situation, you have something to do. You have the choice of taking how you take the situation. I'm sure that you cannot stop things from happening to you. That is beyond your control. There are certain things which is beyond your control. Okay, you cannot stop certain things from happening, because as I said, nature is more powerful than you. But how you are going to take that situation is completely dependent on you. You have the choice of sitting and crying over something, and you have the choice of taking it as a lesson. You have the choice of you just laugh over it, or you have the choice of taking it so seriously that you just can't get over certain things. So you have a choice in every situation. Maybe you don't have a choice over things happening to you, but you definitely have a choice of how you react and respond to certain situations. So if you ever feel that you are doing certain things without choice, if you feel pressurized at any moment, please give a pause. Take a minute. Think. You have a choice in every situation. You have a choice in every situation. So you are responsible for the choices you made. Never blame somebody else for the choices you made, because till the last minute you said yes to something. You had every situation to say no to it, or at least feeling a different way. You had all the situation. You had all the choice. So you don't make the choice and blame somebody else. If you're ever making a choice for yourself, take full responsibility for the decision. Right or wrong, that doesn't matter. But you taking responsibility for your decision is what makes you a sensible person. As simple as that. Yes, the next slide. Okay, so we just have a few more. Okay, we are done with that. So embrace the glorious mess that you are. See, everybody is beautiful in their own way. Everybody is beautiful. I mean, there are some people with curves who are beautiful. There are people without curves who are beautiful. I always believe sexiness comes in all sizes. When it comes to looks, let's say. Okay, people look. The beauty industry has taken up so much. Okay, has taken over all our life so much that we are forced to believe. Okay, as I told you the previous slide, we are forced to believe that this is how. Only this is beauty. Only this is good. Only this is nice. Only that is nice. No. That is what the world says. They are trying to market their products in the best way possible. Why would you fall prey to their marketing? Embrace the glorious mess that yes, I am a messy person. This is how I am. Accept it. Until and unless your nature is harmful to you or to the other person, you have no need to change your personality. Come on, it's your life. You are made with a purpose. Your purpose of being here is different from what another person's is. So why would you want to change for another person? First, accept the fact that you are happy in your own skin, and you like the way you look, you like the way you are, you like the way you sound, you like the way you feel. It's okay. It's after all you. If you don't accept the way you are, how can you expect somebody else to accept you? So you have to embrace the gloriousness that you are before you expecting somebody else to like you or accept you the way you are. So it all begins from within. So you cannot pour from an empty cup. Similarly, if you don't love yourself for whoever you are, you can never ever expect another person to love you for who you are. Yes. So the next one. Pay due respect to your body. Okay, we pay respect to not very important things in life. Most of the times to not very important things in our life. But we pay the least respect to the most important part of this journey of life. That is your body. From the minute you were born till the minute you die, the only thing that travels with you is your body. The only thing that sticks by you through all your thicks and thins, all your ups and downs, all your goods and bads, all your fortunate and unfortunate is only your body. But we pay the least respect to your body. I mean, it's taken for granted. It's like taking your mother for granted, as simple as that. Because you know she's always there. And you always know your body is there. You've never thanked your body enough. I'm not here telling you that you have to tell your body thank you every day. But if you ever whisper to your body saying that I am going to accept the way you are, it is just going to give a relief of sight, telling, oh my God, I've been waiting all my life for this. You've been putting me through so many things, trying to change me in so many different ways. And you don't accept me the way you are, actually the way I am. So, I'm sure it's going to feel bad. So pay respect to whoever you are. Your body, it's working for you 24/7. We do 4 things in a day and we brag telling we do so much. Your body is functioning 24/7, 365 days throughout your life. And you don't pay a little respect to your body? No. That's very silly, don't you? So pay respect to your body. So I would say eat well, sleep well. There's nothing more important than sleep and food in life, okay? This is a very hard learned lesson. I would definitely tell there's nothing more important than your than your food and your sleep. So please sleep, please eat. And also the little things that are a part of your body. It's not one system. There are so many systems connected. Yes. So pay respect to it and treat it like, let's say one day you hurt your thumb is the day you realize how important your thumb was. One day you have a toothache, that's the day you realize how important those fellows were for you to chew your food, you to taste your food. So never take things for granted, okay? Pay respect to your body and treat it like you would treat the best thing possible. Yes. So the next one. So feeling beautiful has nothing to do with how you look. That's exactly what I said. You need to feel good at your own, feel good at your own skin, being at your own skin, under your own skin. So feeling beautiful is like you feeling nice about you. That has nothing to do with looks. That has nothing to do with how rich you are. That has nothing to do with how skilled you are. There's nothing to do with how many friends you have. It is just at a very intrapersonal level of you knowing who you are and you finding peace at yourself. So connect more with yourself. Connect more with the inner self of you. There is so much about the world you know, but very minimal things that you know about yourself. So spend more time with yourself. And I'm sure you're all going to feel beautiful. Yes, next one. I don't know how many of you would agree to me, but this was a very, very...
Yeah, hello, Kulki. I think you can go ahead.
Yes. Okay, so this, as I told you, I don't know how many of you would agree with me, but this was very, very personal learning that I had over the last 1 year and 6 months, I would say. Every time I go home, this is one thing that I always tell my mother, that when I started earning, I understood dad's pain, and every time I cook, I understand your pain. Okay, this is a very, very personal learning that I had. So sometimes we, as I told you, we give the least attention to these very important souls in our life who've been striving all their life to give us the best things. So every time you earn, you understand. Every time you take a penny out of your pocket, a hard-earned money out of your pocket, you know how your dad must have felt every time you asked for something which is of no use to anybody. And every time you cook, and you know, there've been so many days when I've told my mother I don't have the maybe she made my favorite dish, but I've told her, I don't have the mood of eating this today, but now I crave for one meal that she makes. So life is very ridiculous and life is very uncertain that way. So sometimes things you take for granted are the things you crave for at one point of your life. This is a very personal experience of mine. I just wanted to add it. I don't know how many of you would really connect with it, but this is something I've personally felt. So I thought I'll share it with you. So yeah, the next slide. Okay, so I think this tells it all. The first step to healing is acceptance. Yes, so we've heard a lot of people saying that for me to overcome certain situations, I want to forget something, but I'm not able to forget something. I want to move on, and so I'm trying to forget. It is like, it is like an oxymoron. It is like telling stand in a straight circle. It's as stupid as that. You trying to forget something is only going to, how do I put it, reinforce that thought in you. So never try to forget something because you want to heal out of it. Always try to accept it. Only if you accept that let's say I have diabetes, only if I accept I have diabetes, will I even take steps to get me out of that situation? Or will I try to take measures to treat myself? But if I'm going to keep denying the fact, or if I just say, okay, tomorrow I wake up, I say, I forget I have diabetes, do you think it's ever going to work? No. So that's exactly how we try to put on things. Let's say I want to forget certain memories. I want to forget certain people. No. If somebody has hurt you, accept the fact that you've been hurt. Only then you can move out of it. So acceptance is the first step to healing. For any situation, if you want to get over that situation, move over the situation, your first thing you need to do is accept and then see what can be done. Because if you want to forget and if you want to heal, your brain does not understand that, because they're two opposite instructions given to the same system, and things are going to go wacky in between. Yes. Next one. This is just for the fun of, I just wanted a tinge of humor into it. Not all relationships will lead to marriage. Some will help you discover your strengths. Okay, so don't ask me, is it a very personal experience? Yes, I've seen a lot of them. Not though with my personal life, but yes, I have seen so many of it. So not all relationships will lead to marriage. Some will help you discover new strengths. So you need not, this is just a very subtle way of telling that, not all relationships need to end in marriage. There could be so many reasons why a relationship does not end in marriage. There could be so many reasons, but take it as a lesson. There are so many things you must have learned in the process of being in a relationship. Take it, use it for, further in life, whether it can, if it applies somewhere, please use it. Okay, take things, I mean, take it in a lighter note that, okay, I've explored so many places. I've been to so many restaurants. I've tasted so many food. I've been felt special I've been made special to be felt by that person. So that experience is what is going to make you feel happy than you thinking and crying that, oh my God, this did not end up in a marriage. So it's okay. Now, sometimes taking things light is going to make you feel happy too. So this is exactly what the first slide said. Changing the perspective of how you look will change how you feel about it. So if your relationship did not end up in a marriage, at least feel happy for all the new discoveries and new explorations you've made in life. Yes, the next one. This kind of sums up all of that, I believe. So knowledge is the key to a meaningful life. If you have it, share it. If you lack it, seek it. So I think all these sessions and all these programs is in a way trying to share the knowledge each of us have. From being the smallest of things, like let's say life lessons, to the biggest of philosophies or biggest of science technologies, or let's say social reforms that we're ever going to bring up. All of this is sharing knowledge with one person to another, trying to share what I know and trying to receive the same the same kind of knowledge from another person. Basically, it's a knowledge transfer that's happening through all these, let's say, all these meetings and programs and all these webinars. All of this is just being a knowledge transfer platform for people to enrich their knowledge. So knowledge is the key to a meaningful life. If you need to be a knowledgeable person, okay, knowledgeable in all aspects, not the bookish knowledge I'm talking about, knowledgeable in all aspects, if you need to lead a meaningful life. So if you have it, please share it with people. There's no point in you keeping it with yourself, because it will die with you. But if you give it to people, there are so many other people who are going to use it and live a meaningful life too. So if you have it, share it. And if you don't have it, it's okay. You can seek it. Knowledge is something that can be got from anywhere, from anybody. Every person you meet has something to teach you. Every situation you're put into has something to teach you. Every day there is something to learn from. From the smallest of things to the biggest of the worldly things, there is something that everything is trying to teach you. Nature is a beautiful system. And if you ever try to connect more with nature, if you're trying to connecting with nature is nothing but connecting with yourself. If you try to connect more with yourself, you will understand that for all the questions you have about the world, all the answers reside within you. You just need to be open to receive all the cues from nature, to align, to basically connect the dots. If you have to connect dots, you need to see the dots. If you have to see the dots, you need to connect with yourself. So you connect with yourself, you see the dots and you connect it. So if you have the knowledge, please share it. If you don't, please seek it, because knowledge is found everywhere. So let's have a very open mindset about learning things in life. So Isti, can we go to the next one? Okay, so the last one I thought is just a lockdown bucket list that I thought I would share with all of you. Something that I did, and it'll be nice if I share and you guys can also do it. So before we come to the end, I would like you guys to share, the first thing I asked you people to do, to share a lesson a lesson or a learning that you recently had. It'll be nice if you guys can unmute yourself and take half a minute to a minute to tell me what that learning is, so that, I would love to listen to you guys.
Yeah, hello Kalki, Ilaya here.
Yes, Ilaya, tell me.
So I have written something like, I learned Photoshop and then Premiere Pro video editing and how to become a YouTuber like that. But after this session, like I felt I should change it. Your lesson, like this presentation, it's my great lesson in my life, which I have learned.
Thank you. I would really take that as a compliment. Thank you so much. But I would say whatever you've learned, I think knowledge is never wasted. All the knowledge that you've learned is something skill-wise knowledge that you've learned. You wanting to be a YouTuber, you having learned something new, is all learning skills in life. But maybe you have more life lessons to learn. Yes, no doubt. But the knowledge that you've learned, the knowledge that you've acquired is never going to go waste. So if you want to change, I would say don't change. You can add new things, but you don't have to change. Your answers are valid. Yes, I accept. So you can only add more. Why would you want to erase this and write something new? You can only put a comma and write something new that you learned. Simple. Ilya?
May I know the lesson which you learned, Ilya? this question to Ilya.
Yes,
Yeah,
Ilya,
hello.
it's a request from the participant to know what is the lesson that you've learned out of this session.
No, like which you have meant. No, like don't make
No,
the
anything.
mistake
It need
again.
not be something from here, but
Yeah,
anything, whatever was your takeaway.
yeah. I was just there are several things, and I just still remember that the mistake you don't make again. Even I'm going to assume that it's not necessary that I always have to make a mistake. I can learn it from someone's mistake.
Someone
There
mistakes,
are
exactly,
already
exactly.
paths,
Yes.
so I can, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Thank you so much, Ilya. Yes, the others, can you please unmute yourself and tell me what was the lesson that you guys had wrote?
First of all, Kalki, it's Tiak.
Yes, yeah, tell me.
Yeah. First of all, I want to thank you for this wonderful session. It's really a nice opening session. Okay, in this lockdown time. Fine. Actually, my experience is very similar to your experience about like your mom's special things. No, fine. Actually, normally when I'm in home, normally I can eat 6 to 7 bhajis and all.
Okay.
In my workplace, I'm just very like how to say. I'm very careful when I'm spending money and all. So
I know.
after came back my home, and my mom is doing a great job. Like I really hats off my mom, and not only it's, really from my bottom of my heart, I'm telling like our parents are doing such a great job.
I know. Exactly right. I mean, when you see the world outside, you really feel how blessed you are. I mean, you have parents to talk to, you have people to take care of you, people to feed you, people to give you money, people to care, have that concern over you. Not so many people are even blessed with that.
Yeah, really.
So all these experiences has to, I mean, you just have to take this as a blessing.
Definitely.
Yes, Isti, thank you. Yes, can we hear it from the others too, please? What was the experience that you shared at the beginning? I mean, it may not be something related to what I spoke. It could be anything. I would share what my experience was. Yes.
Hi, Kalki, Shrikala here.
Hi, Shrikala. Hope you're doing fine. Yes, tell me.
Yes, I am. Thanks, yeah. It was like really beautiful. Whatever you have said has really made a very nice mark on my mind.
Thank you.
And yes, about the learning that you were telling to mark down at the first. So during lockdown, like this is not too serious a task, but yes.
I told you it can even be the funniest of things that you learned. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have learned to make sugar bread.
So you've learned to make what?
I was always confused. Sugar bread toast.
Oh, sugar bread toast. That's lovely. I hope you make it for me someday.
Yeah, yes, sure. Like I was always confused. Would the sugar not fall down if I put it on the bread? Like I was always in this confusion. And the only one I toasted it that I understood, no, sugar sticks to the bread when you toast it.
I mean, it's a very beautiful learning, right? Yeah. I mean, everything is a learning. Yeah, I know. And you know, this wow moment you get the minute you master something.
It was a bit crazy.
Absolutely wonderful. Hello?
Yes, like because all of a sudden my roommate says that you have to make sugar bread toast, and I'm like, how? Do I have to powder the sugar? Because sugar might just fall down. And we would just get bread, but I'm surprised that stick to bread.
I know. Thank you. That is a very, a very nice learning. Thank you. I mean, it could have, served so many people's confusion too. Thank you. Yes, can we hear it from the other participants too, please?
Hi, ma'am. I am Anju.
Hi, Anju. Tell me.
First of all, thanks for this wonderful session. So my learning is that if anybody, your friends or relatives or anyone else who approached you to share their problems and miseries, never ever console them by saying your own problems to them. It will create more problems. So just listen them. Be a good listener. That's a big solution, or that's a big thing that we can do.
You can do.
Yeah, that's my recent learning, ma'am.
Into self-discovery. I mean, you trying to be showing your empathy by telling your story.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean,
yes,
it's a great
Never
thing. I
do
think
that.
it's a learning for everybody.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
Anju. Thank you. It is very sweet of you to sharing that. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you,
Can we
ma'am.
hear
Thank
from
you.
the others, please?
Good evening, ma'am. This is Akshaya here.
Yes, madam. Tell me.
Such a lovely presentation. It just made me to think what are the things that I went through in my life and how I have crossed all those things and I'm here right now. It was such a motivational talk also, I will say, and so valuable. Whatever you said, I was able to relate to it, and it's really, really valuable thing especially during the lockdown. Thank you so much for that, Kalki.
Thank you, Akshaya. Yes.
Ma'am. And
Oh,
yes,
Akshaya, please. So what was
okay,
the
I
learning?
know.
I'm so excited to know what the learning was.
The learning is kind of for the lockdown. It's kind of different from others. I think I'm working in a team actually, and the team is. I feel that it has a meaning. The team has a meaning right now because the people in the members in the team are kind of giving equal opportunities and understanding. And when our thoughts are all so deviated, and when we came, it was so confusing when I thought in my own. Then when it came to a discussion part, and when we came out for the decision part, it was so beautiful. I understood the real meaning of teamwork in this lockdown. Yeah.
Okay.
It was really nice. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Akshaya. Yes, can we hear from the others too, please? Can you make it quick? I think the others are waiting. Can you make it quick, please? Can you guys please unmute yourself and share your thoughts?
Hello.
Hello. Yes, tell me.
First of all, hi Kalki. That was such a nice presentation. I'm Hema.
Hi, Hema. Tell me.
Yeah, so one learning particularly in this lockdown period is like I've learned how to stay calm. Like you're having all your family members at home and with different perspectives. Like
I know. I completely get you.
like you know, not to complicate things and not to get into a fight. That's what my learning is.
I know. I mean, I tell you, this is a life lesson learned, okay? You will apply it everywhere you go, so don't worry. It's a lesson learned for life.
Yeah. And first of all, I thought, like, before joining this session, I was thinking, what is session about? Like, I didn't know what you were going to talk about. And it was, like, really, I had some other works, like, to do. But I was, like, somehow waiting for this session. I was, like, okay, I'll see what the topic is and what we are going to talk and then see, but it was really helpful for me. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. If it's so useful to you, I'm really glad. Thank you. Yes. Can we hear it from there? I think there is only one or two of you who are remaining. Can we hear it from you as well before we close it for the day? Or is it done? So can we hear it from you? If it's done, can you people please message? I mean, whatever it is, can you please put it through? Is there anybody else, or do we close?
I'll keep see the chat.
No, I know there's nobody. Okay.
Anybody else?
Thank you, Mukesh, for this. Though your mic is not working, you having put across this thought to me I'm really glad. Thank you so much. And I hope this learning continues. Thank you. You need to unlearn to learn. Yes, very true. Thank you. Okay, so yes, anybody done? Okay, so maybe I'll finish it with my learning, my recent learning. Okay, so I don't know whether it would come to any of your help, but this is something that I strangely discovered, and then I went and read about it, and I realized, yes, it makes some sense. Okay, so the recent learning I had is the way you cut onions actually affects its taste. Okay, so I really don't know how valuable information this is to me, but it really gave me, I mean, I had a wow feeling when I discovered this, that the way you cut onions, if you cut it in a ring shape, the taste is different. If you cut it into small sizes, the taste is different. If you're going to cut it tiny, the taste is different. For those of you who are thinking, yes, it's true, please go check. And you can also go check the reason behind it. So Istiak, so next time your mother makes biryani, go sit with her and check how onion tastes and why it tastes so. Okay,
Yeah,
so the way you cut decides the way it tastes.
definitely.
So this is a learning that I had. I feel it's a very important lesson for my life, because I'm sure I'm going to use onion throughout my life for all the cooking that I have to make. So this will definitely help me add flavor to my food. So if this session proved helpful to add flavor to any of your life, I'm really glad. And I'm sure that all your inputs has made me feel really happy today. And I would like to thank three people at this given point. One is Mr. Ilya for having given me this opportunity, and Mr. Nizam for for coordinating the whole event, and Mr. Istiak for all the technical assistance, and all of you for being lovely audience and lovely participants. You've given me a wonderful experience, and thank you so much. So looking forward to other such.
Fine, thank you, Kalki.
Thank you.
And thank you so much. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, friends. So we are closing our revamp talk today. So bye.